Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eating for Space. I wanted to make this video for those of you who are in the program as an introduction to the program, and also anybody looking at possibly joining, and just give a little information about this program and some background that might help all of us have a lot of fun with this exploration. I created this because it was something that I've been playing with my own body that has been such a gift to me, and have been really aware that so many of us, I mean, it's not new information to anybody that a lot of us really are not kind to our bodies when it comes to food and nourishing our bodies. And I wanted to create a program where we could play with it in an easy way, in a WhatsApp group, just having daily prompts and videos and things like that to play with, and explore together what this program actually is, and explore this topic of actually creating more space in our bodies. Our bodies are energy, space, and consciousness. So energy, space, and consciousness. They're not solid. Our bodies are not actually solid. There's a lot more space between the molecules of our bodies, and our bodies were created from a moment of total consciousness when we chose to have a body as a being. And because of that, there's so much that's available to us with our bodies and from our bodies that we never ever pay attention to, we don't ever acknowledge, we don't ever, nobody talks about. And the thing is that a lot of us who are seekers, we function really differently in the world. In Access Consciousness, we would call it being a humanoid or an X-Men, where your orientation to the world is different. It's more about, kind of judging you rather than judging the world, and always looking for something different, always knowing there's a different possibility, and just knowing there's something else, something more all the time. And a lot of humanoids tend to think a lot and just have a really speedy brain. And what happens is our bodies function actually differently than other bodies of people who don't necessarily function that way in the world. We process a lot of salt, we process a lot of sugar with all the processing that we do with our brain and our chemistry and our nervous system. And so because of that, our bodies actually have very different requirements for nutrition. And in this reality, there's a story about the basic food groups and the food pyramid and 3 meals a day, and you eat based on the clock rather than eating based on, oh, body, do you actually desire food right now? Because a lot of times our bodies might feel hungry, but they may not actually desire food. They might enjoy the space that hunger is. So being in question with our bodies and getting rid of the rules and regulations of nourishment and nutrition, and the food groups and all the things, which includes like the diets like veganism, or the diets like paleo, or the diets like raw, or whatever. I've done all of them in my life. I've had an interesting journey with food just because I had a lot of health problems, and all of those diets and the rules and regulations of those diets did not change any of my health problems. It was actually when I started to use the tools of Access Consciousness, pay attention to my body, have a different space of communion with my body, be talking to my body and asking it questions, and acknowledge that my body doesn't actually function on food, it functions on energy. Our bodies tend to require salt, sugar, water, and energy more than they do food, grains, dairy, meat, protein, vitamins, all that stuff. That's more a construct of the solidness and the solidity and the solid bodies of this reality. But our bodies actually have this capacity they have so many capacities, and they have the capacity to be so much more space and have a sense of lightness and movement and like dynamic presence in the world and orgasmic living. And that's what I personally want to invite you to with this program. So the first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about the humanoid bodies and give you a different perspective on that. that this program is not about rules of food. It's not about getting anything right. It's not about following a particular diet, although there is an invitation to do that inside, and it's up to you if you'd like to do it. So what I did was this summer I took 30 days, and I had not done like a diet in a long time. But I took 30 days and I ate pretty much only meat, vegetables, fruit, and nuts. And I wanted to see what it would create with my body, because I had heard that it can reset our awareness of what our body is actually asking for. So I was like, okay, I think I know what my body is asking for, but I'm going to play with this and I'm going to see what happens here. And so I started to play with it, and it was really weird and kind of awkward at first. Like, it didn't feel like I was giving my body what it would ask for. But then every time I would eat something like snap peas or carrots or celery juice, or, you know, sometimes meat as well, my body would have this sense of like, like this aliveness and this lightness and this sense of space. And it's funny because for me, steak is one of the things that creates an immense sense of space in my body. So it's not just about like vegetables, you know, but what happened was it totally reset my awareness of my body, the cues that I was aware of that my body was giving me. It changed everything about what I thought my body was asking for, and gave me such a sense of clarity of what my body was actually asking for. Because we think that our cravings are what our body is asking for, but that's not actually it. We get into these habits and these grooves with what we eat. And so part of the invitation of this program is to play with that diet if it works for you. You can do popcorn too. My body doesn't really like corn, so I didn't do that, but that can be a great way to get some salt if you feel like you need some salt. Or just, I would put like salt on cucumbers or whatever. I always love that. And we'll play, you know, I can give you guys some like food recommendations and things like that, just fun things to play with. But it's not about we're all doing a diet together, and it's not about this is allowed and this isn't, or this is part of the diet and this isn't. It's an invitation for you to explore something different with your body. And not only, you know, the foods that you eat, but also asking your body truly the questions of, are you hungry? Like, well, not even are you hungry, but when your body has the sensation of hunger, okay, cool, body, do you desire food right now? Because it might actually be a no. And we'll explore what it is to be present with our bodies and get the information. This is part of the exploration of this next 30 days. But to be asking our bodies to be really in question. And if your body says, yes, I would like food. Okay, what kind of food would you actually like, body? And we will also play with nourishing our bodies with movement, nourishing our bodies with sunlight, with fresh air, with sex, with touch. Like, what if your food groups were sunlight and the outdoors, touch, sensuality, sex, movement, salt, sugar, water, you know, these things that actually increase the energy of our bodies. What we do with food in this reality is we use it to dim and to create solidity, to dim our bodies and to create solidity and to fit into this reality and to stay full, is to fill ourselves up. And what happens is our bodies actually require an inordinate amount of energy to digest the food that most of us eat. So what if food could be a homeopathic? And what if what you consider food is not at all, you know, what is actually available to us? So would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything you've decided food is and isn't, and go on the journey of, okay, body, like, what can I contribute to you right now? What can I nourish you with right now that's going to expand the sense of space and joy and orgasmic living, ease, joy, glory, and the energy, space, and consciousness that you actually be? So that's the adventure here. this video is going to go out to everybody in the program as well as people considering joining it. So if you're already in the program, let's begin. And if you're not, you're welcome to join at any time. The WhatsApp group is only going to be live during when it's actually happening live. But you can purchase this as a product anytime afterwards as well. heathernichols.com/eating4space. And let's go. I can't wait to see where we go and what we discover. Thanks for being here.